For years, the story seemed simple enough. Two princesses, independent careers, lives largely separate from the controversies swirling around their parents. But now, that story is being questioned, loudly, and from some very unexpected directions. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have built what look like legitimate professional careers. Beatrice carved out a path in the business and technology world, taking on senior roles in strategic partnerships. Eugenie moved into the art world, rising to a leadership position at a respected gallery. On paper, two impressive women doing impressive work. But here's where it gets interesting. The lifestyle that follows these sisters around doesn't quite match the salary. Luxury travel, prestigious properties, exclusive social circles, high-profile events on the international stage. Observers are starting to ask how the numbers really add up. For a long time, the dominant answer was simple. Beatrice and Eugenie had distanced themselves from the financial controversies tied to their father, Prince Andrew, and their mother, Sarah Ferguson. That explanation held for years. Until it didn't. Fresh scrutiny has brought the York family's finances back into the spotlight, and this time, the questions are sharper than ever. Some commentators have even coined a term for the web of business relationships surrounding the family. They're calling it the York Enterprise. And that name alone tells you something. When Andrew's public role was dramatically reduced, analysts began watching closely. Maintaining properties, security arrangements, and an established lifestyle doesn't come cheap. So where was the money coming from? That's the question nobody could quite answer. Beatrice's business venture, Purpose Economy Intelligence Limited, attracted particular attention. Public records show she holds a significant ownership stake alongside other business figures. The company operates in the consulting and advisory space, which sounds straightforward enough. But its connections and structure sparked questions that refused to go away. And that was before the international dimension entered the picture. Reports linking members of the York family to events, meetings, and professional networks across the Middle East and beyond added another layer to an already complicated story. Royal status combined with private business interests and global connections is a combination that invites scrutiny. The more journalists looked, the more threads they found to pull. Then came Eugenie's 2018 wedding at Windsor Castle, and for those paying attention, the guest list was something else entirely. Yes, there were celebrities, musicians, and fashion figures. But seated alongside them were business leaders and international figures whose presence raised eyebrows. Names like Chinese entrepreneur Richard Liu and American businessman Michael Hess appeared on the rolls. For many observers, the gathering felt less like a wedding and more like a window into just how vast the York family's global network had become. And some of those connections have since attracted uncomfortable attention of their own. Business controversies, regulatory reviews, public investigations, none of it directly tied to the sisters, but all of it capable of generating difficult headlines when the historic links are revisited. That's the nature of networks. When one part comes under pressure, the whole structure gets examined. Then, in early 2026, something shifted. Documents surfaced, hundreds of pages of correspondence, travel records, and financial information, and suddenly, questions that had simmered for years came boiling back to the surface. Reports claimed the material contained references connected to both Beatrice and Eugenie. Travel schedules, private events, social gatherings, dates and locations that matched periods already under public scrutiny. What nobody expected was what reportedly came next. According to commentators, Prince William himself had expressed serious concerns. Reports indicated that the heir to the throne believes the current situation is simply unacceptable. And there's more. Sources claim the sisters were asked to undergo a financial review, a kind of transparency audit, and reportedly declined. That decision, according to observers, made everything significantly more complicated. Because here's the tension at the heart of this story. Beatrice and Eugenie have fought hard to build independent identities. Careers, parenthood, charitable work, professional achievements, they've done everything right on the surface. And many people genuinely believe they deserve to be judged on their own merits, not dragged into controversies that belong to other members of their family. But the scrutiny doesn't care about fairness. In a world where public trust has become the currency of royal survival, unanswered questions have a way of compounding. Every absence from a major event gets analyzed. Every business connection gets traced. Every private arrangement gets noticed. Commentators now suggest the sisters are caught in a cycle with no easy exit. A positive public moment arrives, and then an old story resurfaces. Progress and controversy seem to follow each other around like shadows. And the bigger question looming over all of this isn't really about Beatrice and Eugenie at all. It's about the monarchy itself. Where do extended family members fit in a modernizing institution? What do titles mean when they're not backed by active service and full transparency? King Charles is trying to balance tradition with reform, and the York sisters sit right at the center of that tension. As 2026 unfolds, those questions are only getting louder. The debate over their future is far from settled, and the decisions made in the coming months, by the sisters, by the palace, and perhaps by William himself, could reshape their place within the monarchy for a generation. So here's the question worth sitting with. Do you think Beatrice and Eugenie are simply two women trying to protect their privacy and build their own lives? Or does the pattern of connections, questions, and unanswered audits point to something the public hasn't fully seen yet? The conversation is just getting started, and the next chapter may be the most revealing one yet.